Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Civil war in Congress. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. It is really all about hating Trump, not partisan politics. There's no doubt that Judge Neil Gorsuch is qualified to sit on the Supreme Court, and he will. Confirmation coming on Friday, one way or another. Republicans in the Senate must prevail on the judge, or the entire party and the president will be gravely damaged. And that's exactly what the Democratic Party wants. The strategy is simple: oppose every change the president wants to make, everything he wants to do. Create as much mayhem as possible, then tell the American people that Mr. Trump doesn't know how to govern. And meanwhile, the American people get hammered because worthy persons like Judge Gorsuch are disparaged and innovative policies are sabotaged. I mean, did you watch any of those Gorsuch hearings? I don't want to compare the judge to Jesus, but it was exactly the same thing. Democratic senators acting like Pharisees, trying to trap the judge into saying something controversial, trying to paint the man as someone not worthy of being on the court. Now, fair-minded folks respect sincerely held political differences. I know I do. But political hit jobs are obvious. And that's what those hearings featured. Gotcha questions designed to demean the judge. So we now have an opposition agenda primarily based on hatred, not what's best for the country. Just listen to the rhetoric on the left. It is as vitriolic in the extreme. The Trump haters justify their behavior by saying the president is destroying the country. The issues of illegal immigration, global warming, national security have created fury on the left. And as Talking Points stated last week, moderate Democrats are under heavy pressure to support the hate Trump strategy. It's very interesting to watch. Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill declared Judge Gorsuch as being cold, against the regular folks. Missouri is trending Republican these days, so the senator may soon come to regret her stance. Finally, many Republicans opposed President Obama's agenda. There was little common ground there. But 5 GOP senators voted to confirm the very liberal Elena Kagan to the Supreme Court. President Obama got his trade authority, and debt limits were raised. The system was strained under Mr. Obama, but it functioned. Now, political hatred is directly threatening our republic. And we, the people, will pay a huge price if things don't change. That's the memo. Now for the top story reaction. Joining us from Washington, Charles Krauthammer. Am I overstating things, Doctor?
Yes. Look, I'm sure there's an element of Trump hatred in just about everything the Democrats do on Capitol Hill. But there is nothing like, in the Gorsuch hearing, the level of vitriol that there were in the Bork hearings when Reagan was president, or in the Clarence Thomas hearings when George H.W. Bush was president.
But those men were much, much more conservative than Judge Gorsuch is. And I will grant you...
I don't think you can say that about Clarence Thomas. At the time he was head of EEOC, there was nothing outrageously conservative about him. That was just a political hit job of the first order, and it was all personal.
So do you think... Now, I know you don't, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. The hatred against Ronald Reagan was at the same level as Donald Trump?
I don't. That's why I don't think that this is about hatred of the president. I think this has to do with the fact that Democrats decided, and it began, there's no doubt it began with the Bork hearing. They decided that 200 years of tradition, which was you should generally approve a judge who was, somehow educated, intelligent, experienced.
Yeah, a good record.
Right. Scalia was approved 98-2. The difference ideologically between Scalia and Bork was practically nothing. They decided, however, that the court, they had to have the court, because liberalism is not a majority opinion in the country. It's a minority. It's about 20%. And if you wanted to continue to dominate the way that liberals had, you weren't going to do it through the Congress or the presidency, where the people decide. The only way to do it would be to control the court.
And that's where we are today.
And that's where they went. But it began with Bork. It's not to do with Trump himself or Trump hatred. That's an element.
I can't believe it. You don't see it. Expand it out.
I can't believe you see it.
Okay. Expand it out. Is there anything that Donald Trump has proposed, from a crackdown on illegal immigration, to the wall, to taking regulations away and letting the fossil fuel industry do more, to the pipeline, to national security, to vetting people in countries that can't vet? Is there anything that the Democrats have, so far, have supported? No, nothing.
Bill,
Zero.
Expand this out. If Gorsuch were the nominee and Ronald Reagan were president, or George H.W. Bush were president, do you think the Democrats would be any more accommodating and wouldn't try to bring them down?
I can't answer that. It's a
the
speculative
answer is no.
question. Maybe
well,
you're right,
course. Well, so
but you haven't refuted. Look, there isn't anything that Donald Trump campaigned on, anything that the Democrats will support. Not even improving the economy by having a tax cut. All right? Not even that. Not even revamping Obamacare, which has punished working Americans. They are not going to support anything. They hate him. They can't stand his face.
Well, look, I'm glad that there's at least one psychiatrist in our discussion. It appears to be you. You seem to have this direct insight into the motives. I don't know the motives. For some people in the Congress, perhaps yes. For some, no. The Occam's razor, the more parsimonious explanation is this. It makes political sense. The party is enraged. As you know, they lost an election to a guy that they either despise or think unworthy.
That's it. You're saying what I'm saying.
They cannot get
now.
over it.
You're
but
saying
they are,
what I'm saying.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
saying,
Occam's razor and all that is, and by the way, that's a tenet where you just boil things down to its simplest form. They are so angry they lost and they can't stand him.
The problem with your argument is the they that you use is indistinct, can be used for anything.
No, it's the Democratic hierarchy.
The politicians are responding to the threats and the demands of the base. They don't want to be primaried. So you're a Claire McCaskill. You know you're in danger next time you're up for re-election.
She's going to lose because
But you're worried about a primary. Does she hate Trump? I don't know. You don't know. What we know is she wants to be re-elected.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? And another thing, and one more thing before I let you go. The Washington Nationals are Krauthammer's team. The Mets are going to stomp you this year. They're going to beat your butt. Just you
All
heard
I
it here
can say is, so much error, so little time.
All right.